Welcome back to the CryptoFather channel. Today is the 13th of October. My apologies for my week-long absence. I've been on vacation. Basically, I didn't leave the house, but when things in my routine change, waking up early in the morning and recording videos is part of my routine, and so that got thrown out the window. But I'm back today with an update video on what's happening with TradeOgre, with the TradeOgre funds. Nothing earth-shattering, to be honest. Not a massive update, but there is a bit of an update just to kind of calm your nerves and let you know what's been happening with Palladium and what's going to happen moving forward. So we're going to talk about that in just a sec. But before that, let's jump into the markets, have a look at the markets, because that's been going kooky. The present market cap is standing at $4 trillion. Yesterday it was definitely different. I didn't even look at the yesterday's market cap, but obviously everybody saw the blood on the streets. What happened to the market cap was tragic, and fingers are pointing at Donald Trump and insider trading. There is a tweet circulating on X suggesting that somebody made a trade of made a profit of about $192 billion or $1 million rather. The trader whale opened a trade right before the Trump announcement and closed it right after, leaving the trade with a whopping $192 million, I think. And so that's pointing at insider trading. I can't find it right now, but that's apparently what's been happening. There's also some announcement from Polkadot, so there might be some pump on Polkadot coming. But anyway, let's go back to the charts here. $4 trillion, Bitcoin at $115,000. Ethereum is back up to $4,168. It was down, like well down, at $3,800 just yesterday. We're going to look at the charts in just a second. BNB back to 1,300. The altcoins took a beating, of course. Cardano dipped all the way down to 69 cents. Right now it's back up to 70 cents. Litecoin at $101, back from the dead of $90 or something like that. Ton, $2.37 to 32 cents. Monero at $307, and Polkadot $3.29. Chain OpenAI has pumped 7,000%, and right now in the 24 hours again 500%. Look at this pump here, 11,000% pump on Chain OpenAI. What a massive pump. This was just launched on September the 25th, so this is a pump, and it's going to disappear as quickly as it came. Bet your ass on it. So if you're in this project, I suggest take some profits or take all of it, because this is going to retrace quicker than you can blink. Looking at the charts on the daily, you can see this massive drop in Bitcoin, and it dropped to the levels at which we saw the inverse head and shoulder patterns, basically, or actually it had a massive drop well below that. Bitcoin dipped all the way to $104,000, then recovered back up to $113,000. Another retracement down to 109, and now we're seeing a green candle trying to crawl its way back up. Ethereum saw a similar dip to 3,400. A lot of the alts got annihilated. Cardano went all the way to 30 cents. My goodness, 30 cents on Cardano. Solana had a drop to about $168. Dot went all the way down to 64 cents. So if for those people who have had these wacky open buy orders, standing buy orders, man, made killing. Litecoin went down to $52. Insane dips, and right before the CPI announcements that are supposed to be coming out next week. But all of that is good. Let me jump into the interview with Kevin from Palladium. Okay, welcome back to another episode on the CryptoFather channel. It's been a while, and today we've got another update from the Palladium / TradeOgre fund recovery spokesperson, Kevin from Palladium. Welcome back, Kevin.
Hey, great. Thanks for having me back.
Yeah, no problemo. So the Palladium team, I don't know who I communicate with on X when I receive messages. I assume it's somebody on the Palladium team. Was notified that there's an update with the case and what's going on. So this is why we're sitting down again, and hopefully you can share something of interest with us, because people have been messaging me and asking if there are any updates, what's going on, and this and that. So yeah, please do share what you've got.
We have several updates I can share. So
fantastic.
Be a good time. Sure. So since we last spoke, we made a lot of updates to our site. We have a whole dedicated page, where people that were affected can come and put their basic information in to, request assistance from us to help them recover their funds. So we've been making many upgrades, on the claim recovery system that we have set up, because we're doing all this to collect all the information for all the legal aspects of it. So I know I'll make a couple other general comments too. I know some people that started out early, as we were making these upgrades, to the system, some messages may have gotten lost from time to time. I'm just going to say, please don't worry. No one's going to be left out. If you didn't hear something from us, within 24 hours, it doesn't mean you're being ignored intentionally or anything. It's just we've had quite an influx of requests coming in, and then we're constantly, we just finished making all the upgrades to automate a lot of the processes, the steps in this process. So things people coming in now, everything should flow really nice and smooth. And like I said, we believe we've kind of caught up with any I'll say lost emails with people that had questions or whatever. They kind of started the process and then had a question, about how to get something notarized, or what to do at the embassy and things like that to get things verified. We believe we are all caught up. If you still haven't, if you believe you're still missing a communication from us, please feel free to reach out.
Yeah, that's good to hear, because I think there was a couple of people who said, I haven't heard back from Palladium yet. What's going on? So yeah, that's good to know. So yeah,
it's just truly being inundated with so many requests coming in. And trying to update the system. And not only that, we're also, working on our project too at the same time. So,
and while you're at it, I've contacted the RCMP, and it's just such a ridiculous thing to do, man. They basically, initially there was an article, right? The RCMP or some media outlet released an article, and I assume that was under the supervision of the RCMP, and they instructed people to contact the specific email. Great. So I contacted the specific email, and in the email they told me, we don't take requests regarding TradeOgre, please call this number. And I'm thinking to myself, well, why wouldn't you just list that phone number on the actual article itself? So I called the phone number, and once I called the phone number, I know RCMP officer came on and said, actually it wasn't it was a person who'd redirected me to a recorded message, which stated that if I wanted to get more information on TradeOgre, I should send an actual physical mail, a letter to a specific address in Ottawa. It's such a bogus runaround. I'm not surprised by the Canadian government, because they're champions at giving people a runaround when it comes to getting anything done. It's absolutely ridiculous. So
and I think there's I also heard their mail system's down too.
Yeah, that's also So basically, you've got no way of getting a hold of him, because the mail system is on strike. So you would have to, if you wanted to, you have to send a courier message or courier letter, DHL or whatever, in order to get it delivered, because Canadian mail doesn't work. They're on strike.
Yep. Yeah, and that's how we've been communicating.
That's bizarre.
We're forced to communicate, I guess you can say.
Yeah. All right. So sorry for the interruption. Go on.
Yeah. So I was just gonna say we're preparing the first batch that we're gonna submit into the case. People that have gone through the steps. We've had quite a few that have completed both of the necessary steps. But that doesn't mean if you haven't done that already, you're excluded or not. That like I said, we've had numerous people reach out to us requesting to join the case. And once you get verified, you're going to get added. It's just we're going to start submitting documents as we get them to kind of hopefully speed up the process and get more idea of what the process is going to be like to recover those funds.
How many? Do you have a number? Like how many people did contact Palladium with the case?
Over 200 so far.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's not a big number, I guess. I mean, there's no specific numbers. I'm wondering how many people were actually on TradeOgre. Like how many people are actually affected? Because I know it was a relatively small exchange, but I mean, in terms of trading volume, it did have a massive trading volume at some point in time. So I'm just curious if there were massive Monero whales or
new requests. We're getting multiple, like I would say anywhere from 3 to 10 new requests a day.
Right.
So I think that number is going to continue to grow as more people find out about it, and probably get some confidence in what we're doing as well. And it's not just an easy process too. It's not like you can just submit your email address from your account you had and get it to. There are some physical steps that people have to do too, which takes time.
So what's some of the progress that the legal team was able to get in terms of, I don't know, getting in touch with the RCMP and getting a response from them, I guess, more importantly?
We haven't got much of a direct response from them just yet. They continue to give us kind of I won't say a runaround, but
that's what it is, basically.
Yeah, but I think that's going to change after that 90-day period. Like because the court they have 90 days to prove to the court that they seized the funds properly and all that. Okay. And then I think the clock really starts ticking, in the process. So.
Okay, the 90 days starting from when exactly?
That's the point that we're not too clear on yet either. They haven't been transparent either. Is it from when TradeOgre went offline?
Right.
Was it from when they announced the seizure? Or performed? They announced the seizure, but when did they actually perform the seizure? Was it a couple days prior when we saw the funds move off the account?
Right.
So that's
okay. And I guess that would be that would also be the same time frame for the Palladium legal team to take action as well. I mean, what happens if there's the time frame for the claimants expires? I mean, is there?
That's not for the claimants. That's for the RCMP to prove that they seized the funds, like according to their laws, right?
Yeah.
But they did it properly. That doesn't impact people coming back to reclaim their funds.
Okay, because I remember
that's for a court decision that they did things by the book, essentially.
Okay. So the claimants can submit claims until whenever.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I remember there was one message somebody was saying that I don't know what it was in reference to, but the statement was that there was a time limit on submitting claims, or for the RCMP to submit claims.
Yeah, I think there was some initial confusion. We kind of cleared that up because I had been getting messages from various people too, thinking that we only have 90 days to do this, and that's not
the case.
Accurate. The court has to have a ruling out in 90 days whether the RCMP did everything by the book.
So what happens if the court decides that, or the RCMP does not submit paperwork within the 90-day time frame? What happens then?
Yeah, I don't know if the whole thing falls apart, or but I think regardless, for most of the people, like for Palladium Network and most of the people that we're going to be helping out, there was no foul play or criminal activity. Once that's verified and determined, the funds should come back to the rightful owners. Whatever the court decision is made, it doesn't. That ruling doesn't say every all the funds that were seized in there are now property of
Right.
Canadian government. You know,
Wouldn't it be like that simple for them to basically? Because I mean, they must have gotten access to the servers and the two-factor authentication. I have no idea how that would work, but I mean, they would need to have access if they seized all the assets and all the access to the servers. They would be in possession of individual logins. So all people would need to have is their individual login information in order for the RCMP to be aware of who held what on what account. Would not be?
Yeah, you would think it would be that simple. Yeah.
But no. Yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really frustrating.
The other thing that, you know, they transferred the funds from the TradeOgre hot wallets. So now, how do you commingle all that now, right?
Right. Okay.
You know.
So you figure they moved everything off the hot wallets and dumped it into one wallet wherever that may be. So I guess but I mean the information would still be there. They would still have access to the information of who held what.
Yeah, they have the servers. They should have all the transactional information and everything.
Yeah.
I would imagine that's only going to prolong the process though a little bit, because now they have to, you know.
And the other weird thing, and I'm not presuming that you would have the answers to that, but the articles that I've read was that the RCMP basically, the claim was that the individual owner, the TradeOgre owner, was deceased, and that there was nobody else who was in charge or who would be responsible for the maintenance of the TradeOgre servers, and therefore there's nobody that the RCMP could contact in order to deal with, which is a weird thing to say. Basically, they're saying that this relatively large, exchange was run by a single person, that there was absolutely nobody else who was working on it.
Yeah, I find that a little hard to believe.
Yeah, right. I mean, I'm sure there are people who are savvy enough to run small operations, but I think with TradeOgre at some point had like cash flows of 27. I mean, what we saw was 27 million listed on Arkham, and there is a possibility that the funds were a lot larger, somewhere in the vicinity of 50 million. Yeah, so that's a lot to manage. So how would that have been done by one person doing all that and running servers and coordinating everything else that needs to be managed in an exchange run? So it does feel like a money grab on part of the RCMP, and I know that a lot of people are kind of pointing fingers at the Canadian government and saying, "Oh, the Canadian government they're thieves and this and that." And partially being a Canadian, I'm kind of like, well, hey, slow it down. It's not the whole government. It's just a body of the policing force. But it doesn't look good in any case.
That seems to be like, I think if you look at a lot of governments, there's like strategy for, I'll say, crypto reserves.
Yeah.
It involves, like seized crypto. Not necessarily that they're going to buy the crypto. It's acquiring it in manners like this is how they're going to build their reserves. That's one of their strategies. And
so you mentioned, just because I guess that's as far as we can go with TradeOgre right now, basically. Palladium has been collecting people. Kevin you mentioned that if there are people out there who have messaged the Palladium legal team, and have not heard back, that's because of the server updates and restructuring and all that stuff. So feel free, if you are one of the people who have gotten lost in the maze, message them again, and they should be able to reply to you, right? That's the idea.
Yeah, like I said, please don't be discouraged. We're just super busy. You won't be left out by any means. We'll make sure you're included. Once everything's verified and completed. Yeah.
And how are things going for Palladium in terms of you mentioned a listing? Can you share a bit more on that? Or
we have a new listing coming out very soon. We're just finalizing it as we speak. And then we're going to be at a crypto conference in Miami in less than 4 weeks. So we got a lot going on. Yeah.
Because is Palladium listed on any other exchange right now? I think TradeOgre was like the only one.
Yeah, TradeOgre was our only exchange, so that did kind of set us back a little bit.
Yeah.
We were just in the process of getting ready to list on another exchange before TradeOgre went down. So we did get up and running fairly quickly after, but we did lose, most of our active markets because we were very active on TradeOgre.
Sure. We
had a very good market there. And the U.S. market was very, very good for us as well, So
I guess you can't share the
very soon.
Yeah, you can't share the exchange that you're getting listed on, right?
I can't share the name because it hasn't been officially announced yet.
Gotcha.
On the exchanges side. Once they share it on their socials, then I can start doing that. And it should come within 48 hours. You'll see it.
All right, so there is hope for people who, and I know there's a few people who are holding. Well, I mean, there's a lot of people who are holding Palladium on TradeOgre, and then Palladium pumped. That's. I mean, imagine, right? It's bad for the team holding millions of assets, but also people who invested in the project and then saw it pump and make some bank and then not being able to access it. That really puts a damper on the whole.
We plan on getting on many markets, so we're not going to have this scenario again where we're kind of without a market. We're going to be on multiple markets in the coming months. So.
That's good. That's good. Well, that's it. That's, I guess, a quick update from Kevin and Palladium and TradeOgre. So if you do have any questions, messages, or suggestions, just drop them below the video, and I will try to forward them to Kevin. But also, like Kevin mentioned, just contact them yourself. And if you are on the list, or if you're expected to be on the list and haven't heard back from the team, just message them, and they'll sort you out. Yeah, man. Okay, well, quick one.
I know. I think as time goes on, we can keep having more conversations like this, and I can.
Yeah. I think.
Please start getting more information. I'll drop one other comment. We do have some team members that are going to go to Canada for this case. So in the coming weeks. So we hope to be making more progress and getting more information. Yeah,
it'd be good to hear if because I'm sure that there's some people located in Canada that might be interested in attending. I don't know if it's possible to attend a case like that, if it's like an official, public, accessible to public viewing. But I'm sure that there might be some people who will be interested in doing that. But with time, I guess, when things progress, if you could let us know, that would be fantastic.
Definitely, I'll keep you in the loop for sure.
Alrighty. Well, Kev, thanks for joining us again. What's the date?
You're welcome. Thanks for having me again and letting me share what information I can.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks a lot, man. We'll talk again later, yeah?
Yep.
All right. Bye-bye. I spoke a little bit more with Kevin after recording this video, and he assured me that things are going quite well with the case, and he said that while there is a lot of people obviously here in the comments, on this channel, a lot of people are commenting me, and a lot of individual people are commenting or contacting me wanting to know what's happening with Palladium. But Kevin assured me that there's not only people who are applying with them, who are joining forces with them. There's a lot of projects that were listed on TradeOgre that have now contacted Palladium and are joining in on that case in order to recover their funds. So right now, from what I understand, what I was told by Kevin, there are the people joining in on the case are in the thousands. So I don't know how many people exactly. I wasn't given an exact number, but there's plenty of people who have signed up who are joining the Palladium case. So I think this case stands a good chance of being successful and being able to recover the funds. But it will take time. It will definitely take a lot of time, because these things take time. In any case, thank you for tuning in. Make sure to smash up the likes on this video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope that this is some good news. It's not the best news, of course, because we want progress quickly, but again, this is a legal case that's going to drag on for some time, months, could be years, who knows. So don't expect things to happen overnight. Be patient, and good things will happen, I suppose. Leave me a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Ask any questions, and I will try to do my best to provide you with the information that I can. I will see you next video tomorrow. Have a fantastic Monday. Peace.